All right, so good morning once again, right? So we'll just pick up from where we left. So I was talking to, I believe, Neha. Yes? No, Neha had already spoken, right? So it was Yuvika and Ishant. Are they in the class here?
Yes, sir.
Hanji, Ishant is here. Yuvika is also here?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So tell me, Yuvika and Ishant, what do you think about online versus offline classes? So Ishant did say that he prefers it to be offline, right? So Yuvika, what is your view?
Ma'am, offline classes are more easy. Like when we do practical, like सी लैंग्वेज वगैरह कोई भी हम प्रैक्टिकल करते हैं या केमिस्ट्री का और इंग्लिश लैब भी होती है
Right,
और जब हम वो करते हैं तो वो ऑनलाइन में प्रेफर ज्यादा नहीं होता, मतलब ऑनलाइन समझ नहीं आता वो।
right,
तो वो अगर उस पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से देखो तो ऑनलाइन क्लासेस नहीं चलती उसमें। और अगर कोई मतलब पार्ट टाइम जॉब वगैरह कुछ कर रहा है अपनी स्टडीज के साथ तो उसके लिए ऑनलाइन क्लासेस मे बी गुड।
All right. So you say yes, online classes, the one pro is that you can, attend these while you are also doing something else, while you are occupied in some other activity as well. However, I totally agree with your point that yes, practical classes are not possible through Zoom. I was talking to one of the teachers here as well that how do you conduct these experiments through Zoom, right? So it is only the teacher is performing it for you. You are not getting that practical first-hand experience of how to perform a particular experiment, right?
Yes, ma'am. We are just seeing this virtually. We can't experimentally do it.
Yes, you are completely so. For me, I think that is not even a practical in the real sense, since you did not
Yes,
even get
ma'am.
to perform it, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Yuvika. So yes, you've made a very good point. Now let's talk to Vishal Kumar, Vishal Gupta. So are they in the class here?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So what do you think about online versus offline classes? Hanji, Vishal, both the Vishals, even Vishal Kumar.
Yes, ma'am.
Hanji, beta, yes, do share your views.
Ma'am, offline classes are more comfortable than online classes.
Okay, right. How?
Yes, ma'am. In offline classes, we can easily understand the concepts and easily clear our doubts. But in online classes, we can't clear our doubts easily because when we try to clear the doubts, sometimes class will be ended or any other network issue. And if we think socially, then online classes is not for everyone because the students who belong from backward areas, they have a network issue, and students who belong from poor families, they do not have smartphones to attend the classes. So in general, we say online classes are not for everyone. Offline classes are much bit better than online classes.
All
That's it,
right.
ma'am.
So yes, there is this, you can term it as an infrastructure issue that some remote areas don't have as good a connectivity, right? Internet connectivity, so as to attend Zoom classes without any problem, right? And yes, you're completely right that not everybody has a smartphone, access to a smartphone or even a laptop. Since I believe now, since you are getting a few assignments, right, to appear for, to complete. So for them to complete those assignments, at times there might be a need for a laptop or a computer, isn't it? If you have, let's say, some
Yes,
with your
ma'am.
programming languages, you would need a computer, access to a computer. So that is again a problem. because in the college here you have access to a computer in the labs, right? However, that is not true if all of you are at home. So everybody does not have a laptop at home. So yes, online classes are not that easily accessible for all, right? So Vishal, you made very
Yes,
good
ma'am.
points there. So is Vishal Kumar also in the class?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Vishal. What do you have to add to this discussion here? What are your views about online and offline classes?
Offline classes are better.
Okay, so you also believe that offline classes are better?
And offline classes में practical knowledge बहुत अच्छे मिलती है online class में.
Okay, so better for practical, practical learning, I would say,
हाँ
isn't
जी.
it? Hanji, what else?
Ma'am, online class even network issue in
Okay, so yes, you face network issues at times.
हाँ जी बस नहीं.
Hanji, bache, what else can you add to the discussion? Any other point? Hanji, elaborate if you have any other point you might want to share.
हाँ जी.
Okay, so that was all.
हाँ जी.
ठीक है, so that was well said. Now let's talk to. We have Ayush in the class. Yes, Ayush. Is Ayush in the class here? Then do we have Abhishek, roll number 162? Then Abhishek 163 and 164 as well.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So Abhishek, what do you have to say about online versus offline classes?
Um, I personally say that I like offline mode to study,
Right,
and like on online mode we are not able to concentrate on the teachers which topic they are telling us in the class,
right. Hanji,
and we are and like most of the students are just checking out other apps instead of just staying on the Zoom. They are some students, some my friends are sending me snaps. Not in they are not in the class, and some are like chatting on the WhatsApp,
all
and they
right.
are and like some students are doing it well and are concentrating on the classes, but some are not. Actually, it depends upon the student
So you would say that it puts more
if they want to learn or not.
responsibility on the student, right? Whether they want to learn or
Yes,
not.
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so anything else you would like to add?
No, ma'am.
So that was it from your side?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So students, now anyone can express their views, whatever you have, right? So anybody can come up and share what they feel about online versus offline classes. Hanji bache. So those of you who were sharing in chat, time to speak up now, right? Hanji, yes, Har Kamal, Tamanna, whatever. Yes, please do speak up, share it with everyone. Hanji. Yes, Tamanna, Har Kamal, why don't you share it? You have written really well, right? So share it with the class as well. Yes, Har Kamal, what were you about to say? Okay, Surbhi also wants to share something. Yes, go ahead, bache.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Ma'am, from my point of view, offline classes are more productive. If we see e-learning, we need a very good self-motivation.
Right.
While offline, we have to be attentive in the classes. As if we see in online classes, while we are watching our classes, we get a call or message from our friends and we start chatting.
Right.
That's a main, very bad thing of offline classes. Sorry, online classes. And if we see offline classes, there is a very attractive atmosphere, a very disciplined manner, and a competitive atmosphere. While there is not in the online classes. In
All right.
online classes, only benefit that I see, it saves the travel time.
Okay.
While in offline classes, we get a very effective teacher supports and we can clear all the doubts and queries that we are getting from the sessions.
Hmm.
That's all, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. You spoke really well, right? You shared some very good points. So there is this shift of accountability, right? Yes, Har Simran, and why don't you share it with the whole class, Shalini? Anu Gupta, yes. So I'll start now. Har Kamal, why don't you start? You had such a good point. I want everybody to, listen to that. Yes, Har Kamal. Yes, Har Kamal, am I audible to you? Okay, so and then we can talk to, okay, so Har Kamal, why don't you share it with the class? Your point. Okay, voice is not clear. Okay, so, okay, I hope that is. So yes, her Kamal had a very good point that it is your inability to focus on the screens for a consistently, continuously for a long period of time. Then yes, there is a sense of isolation that all of us are sitting at our homes. There is this point of okay, we are together as well. However, we are alone also. Now here I am sitting in a vacant classroom taking this class. However, virtually I am connected to around 51 of you, right? 51, 55 students. So yes, there is this feeling of isolation and yes, some virtual connection, but that is no replacement for what we would be had we all been in the class together, right? So yes, she also feels that at times network issue is there and offline classes are better. So yes, Tamanna, what do you have to say? You also had good points. Yes, please do share them with the class, Tamanna and Anu.
Ma'am, I think online and offline classes both are good in their own way. If we talk about the online classes, then it provides the facility to learn from home, and especially in this time of pandemic, where we cannot study where we cannot study offline until the situation settle down. So in this way, online classes are better, but at the same time, the social media is there which distracts us. So offline classes are much better than the online classes as we are present physically, and the teacher is also able to focus on the students whether the students are getting their points or not. And disadvantages of the offline classes is that we have to spend more hours as compared to the online classes. Like our college is also up to 4:30 p.m., but in case of classes, it's maximum up to 2:30.
Yes, since we have the Zoom classes for 40 minutes only, right? However, in your normal timetable, it is around for 55 minutes or even 1 hour, isn't it? So yes, that was a good point. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
Anu, what would you like to add to the discussion? Anu Gupta? Hanji, Anu, and Shalini. Anu, and Shalini. Anu, and Shalini. Yes, 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 Yes, Anu. Am I audible? Shalini, what about you? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Shalini, do share your point with the whole class.
Ma'am, according to me, offline classes are better than online class because offline class we clear our doubts thoroughly and take our full concentrate on the teacher what she or he saying. But in online class we don't clear our doubts. Sometimes we cannot take concentrate on the class. And due to online class, our eyes also affected by seeing continuously on the screen. So I prefer offline class, and this is also good for all students. That's all, ma'am.
All right, that. Those were some good points, right? So this point about our eyesight suffering is a very valid point. That yes, we are continuously sitting in front of the screen for around 7 to 8 hours every day. That is a very very long duration. So yes, our eyesight, and if you talk about our mental health also, yes, like some of you feel that right. So it is putting more pressure. All right, so Harsimran, why don't you elaborate? Yes, Harsimran and Abhishek. Hanji beta, do share the points which you have sent in the chat with everybody. Hanji Abhishek and Harsimran. Yes, Vishakha, please go ahead.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Ma'am, according to me, offline education is more satisfying.
Right.
As ma'am, in offline learning, it is easier to ensure students are paying attention to the classes for teacher, or it is also easier for students to interact with teachers and all the friends in the class more comfortably, as there are interactive classrooms and open expression of opinions.
Right.
Ma'am, but online classes also have its own benefits, as being unrestricted in regard to location and times means every learner who is far away from the teacher or in any other state or country can benefit from the courses.
Right.
As as we can say, we are in the pandemic condition now, and it is better to have online studies as it is not possible to conduct offline classes. And ma'am, there are various problems we are facing for online classes, as there is background noise, network issues, and they are tedious, sometimes boring and monotonous.
Yes.
And ma'am, sometimes we also hesitate to clear our doubts, and our health is also suffering. But ma'am, whether it is offline or online, what matters more is the will to attain knowledge and desire to study rather than the focus on the means.
Right.
Mm, that's thank you, ma'am.
That was well spoken, right? You had some really good points. So, Ajayjeet, would you like to add something to this? Hanji.
Yes,
Yes, Ajay, go ahead.
मैम लाइक ऑनलाइन क्लासेस में देखा जाए तो हम जैसे कंसेप्ट फुली क्लियर नहीं होते तो नो प्रैक्टिकल वर्क जब हमें एंड पे जाके उस प्रैक्टिकल वर्क को करना पड़ेगा जैसे हमें अब मशीन शॉप्स वगैरह है जब हमें मशीन चलानी पड़ेगी वो नहीं चला सकेंगे हम प्रॉपरली.
So yes, this is, your practical learning is definitely suffering due to the pandemic, right?
यस मैम जैसे मैम टीचर्स को भी अच्छी तरह पता नहीं लगता कि किस स्टूडेंट की कितनी कैपेबिलिटी है वो कहाँ पे स्टैंड करता है क्या
Right.
उसकी वीकनेस है मैम.
Yes, since because even for me, now I really have not met you guys before, right? So we are interacting for the first time through virtual medium only. Had I been seeing you in the class, we do notice a lot of things, beyond what you say. If I told you that, we are, communicating through body language. So yes, in the class, the teacher is able to read your expressions. The teacher is getting immediate feedback that, okay, whatever I said, was it, comprehensible to you all or not? Did you like how many of you understood that point or not? So yes, that is one very big issue. And well, in the virtual medium, I can only, reach out to students who are reaching out to me. Let's say if one of you asks a doubt, yes, I might clear it, right? And that doubt might be shared with other kids as well. However, some students, they hesitate to bring forward their doubt, right? So yes, Aditya, that was a good point. So yes, Ishant, you also have something to say. Why don't you share this point with the whole class? It's a very good point. I was coming to this point as well. Hanji. Yes, Ishant?
Yes, ma'am.
You may just
I
read.
just want to say
Hanji,
that
Hanji.
as we are college students, our life it's not all about study and attending classes. We should also have some time to interact with our friends and enjoy our college life. Because I don't think that this period of life is all about study. So I think, and we can't do such physical activities like sports. Like I'm a volleyball player, we
All right.
can't do any activity like that during online classes,
Mm-hmm.
and we are just, I think, wasting our that part during the online classes.
All right. So yes, I completely agree with you that college life is much more than simply, studying, attending classes, appearing for your examinations, completing the assignments, right? It is for your overall development. So this is why we have NSS activities, right? I think we don't have NCC here, but back in school we used to have NCC. We used to have so many different competitions, right? Debate, or it could be, even folk dance, something of the sort, right? Cultural events, we have sports, we have annual athletic meet, annual sports meet. So the idea why these are included in the college, your calendar, yeah, or your academic schedule for the whole semester is because, yes, we are aiming at, overall development of the students. So yes, Manav, do you want to share something? Okay, there is NCC
Yes,
here.
ma'am.
All right.
Hello.
Hanji, Manas.
Yes, ma'am. If we want to remain limited to the college course, the offline classes are way better because we get to do practicals and meet our friends and be more interactive with our teachers. But if we
Right.
want to learn something extra which is not available in our course, because no teacher can teach you everything about the studies
Yes,
or
you are right
anything
about
about the life skills. So there are numerous uh, resources available online from where you can learn your new skills about the new subjects that will help you in your career. So if my point is, if you want to study only the subjects which are provided by the university, then you can attend the offline classes. You can also attend the practicals. But if you want to do something else or something extra from your curriculum, then you have to go for online classes because you can't go everywhere to attend different classes to different places. So
Yes.
my point of view is that both goes with hand in hand. Uh, so we should go for both.
All right. So yes, that was a very good point, Manas. That since you cannot be everywhere and have access to all those different, disciplines available out there, different classes, subjects available out there. So for that purpose, online classes are good. Like sitting here, you can attend a class which is taking place in the US or Canada, right? However, yes, for your college purpose, you would definitely prefer offline classes since it is also about interacting with your teachers, with your friends, and a number of other activities which we just mentioned, right? So Ajayjeet also has another point to say. Ajayjeet, why don't you share it with the whole class? Yes, Ajayjeet and also others.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, like we are sitting for a whole day, so we get back pain,
Yes,
stress all over the mind. Ma'am, like when we are in college, we can go out in the free time and do some activity, but at home we cannot do that. We have to sit all the time for the classes.
right. So that is again a very valid concern. So yes, Adarsh, what would you like to add? Yes, Adarsh.
Yes, ma'am.
Hanji beta, why don't you share the point you mentioned in the chat with the whole class?
Ma'am, as we are a student of technical education course, so we have to do some work practically. That is not possible in online class.
Yes, that is again very true.
And there are very disadvantages of online class also, that we have a specific time to clear our doubts.
Right. So yes,
We
there is.
can we can clear our doubt on very limited topics, and that is possible in offline classes. So I like offline classes more.
All right. So yes, that is also a valid point that there is this, issue of shortage of time in the online medium. You are right about it. Since if you are, in the college, you can even approach your teachers. They can take out time other than the classes and clear your doubts. However, in the online medium, that is our limitation, that we cannot, there is no possibility of taking out separate time, right, to interact with you, to talk to you, to ask what problems you are facing, right? So Tamanna also has another point to add. Tamanna, Surbhi, why don't you add these points? हाँ जी बच्चों, Tamanna and Surbhi. Yes,
Ma'am, no matter how much we try, we do not get that type of atmosphere at home.
Right. So yes.
हम कहीं ना कहीं तो वो distraction हो ही जाती है.
Right. So that is another point. Surbhi, what would you like to add?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, in our offline classes, we are having some of the free lectures. In that, we can connect to our free courses and whatever we want to study about that thing.
So yes, that can be pursued in that time, right? So I hope you all take notes as well while we were discussing? So you can just raise your hands. How many of you actually take notes? All right. So you can just raise your hands and let me know. Okay. So yes, the idea of online exams, that is also another issue. Ajayjeet just mentioned this, that, the issue of taking exams online, you have exams in open book mode. Okay, so I just wanted to ask how many of you do take notes while we are, having this group discussion. I'll write it in the chat for you all. So yes, Ishant, that's a very interesting point. Why don't you share it with the whole class? Hanji, Ishant.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, during offline class, a student can't escape the class when you ask them something and they don't want to answer, as they do during the online class, and they say that's a network issue or something else. But you also know that they are just making excuses.
Yes, we do get to know at times it is genuine. See, now that is another issue for us as teachers. We can't tell whether that is genuine or not. Right? At times, yes, you do face genuine network issues. At times, yes, you are just, fibbing to get away with not answering. So yes, Okay, so students, why I was asking about, you taking notes is that if you just keep one notebook, or it is up to you if you want to just keep these loose sheets, I would suggest that, whenever we are having a group discussion, just keep that pen and paper handy. Keep writing the points which are discussed in the class. Because see, we have around 60 students here, right? 60, 65 students here. All of you have something to say to it, right? You have some points about online classes, offline classes, advantages and disadvantages of both. So in the end, you will have around 20, 30 more points, right? So it is, I would say, I would really recommend that you start even keeping notes, right? Keep writing down. I also keep a diary handy with me, and I keep writing whatever points you are mentioning, so that in the end we can just have a good conclusion, right? Also, this is giving you ready material for your essays ahead, in case you might get an essay, on this very topic, since in the pandemic this is a topic which is really discussed, राइट ऑनलाइन वर्सेस ऑफलाइन क्लासेस अभी तो एक साल हो गया है ये सारा चल रहा है आपकी क्लासेस भी एक साल से ऑफ एंड ऑन दे हैव बीन conducted online, and then there was a brief period when you might have visited the college, and now we are back to the Zoom mode, right, to the online mode of teaching. So this is why it is just my suggestion to you, keep this paper handy, keep writing the points, right? And there are some good points coming up. Then you can have other किसी और का perspective है. Some people have a very different perspective, different points, right? So you do keep that as well. Yes, I will share the notes of this class, right? I'll just make a very comprehensive list for you, and in the next class onwards, we can just, in the end, I can ask any of you to just read out whatever you have written. All right? And I just want to repeat that yes, I might not have a proper day for your to mark your internal assessment, right? All your classes are being assessed. I do keep note of who replied, who did not reply, which students are very, forthcoming in discussing or in being part of the discussion. So yes, I would, I would just suggest that do take participation, right? Do participate in the class. Whatever you have to say, don't hesitate to share it. जैसे अब बेटा बात कर रहे हैं ना कि डाउट्स नहीं क्लियर होते. Yes, no doubt that is an issue. I agree with you that you might hesitate, but we have to make efforts both way, right? I am available to you whenever you have any doubt. You can talk to me, and from your end, I want that you should not hesitate before discussing any doubt, right? कहीं भी क्लास में डाउट है, you can just raise your hand, ask it. We will pause whatever we are doing and address your doubt. All right? See, yeah, Vishaka, why don't you share this point with the whole class? This is a very good point.
यस मैम. मैम बट ऑनलाइन के ये भी बेनिफिट है कि टीचर अपनी बात को बहुत सारे तरीकों से एक्सप्लेन कर सकता है, जैसे कि वीडियोस की हेल्प से, पीडीएफ्स की हेल्प से, पीपीटीज की हेल्प से. और
Yes,
थैंक यू मैम.
we have a lot more tools available to us online, right? Rather than just going with the pure offline mode. So if we were to conclude, do we all agree that a blended mode of classes is better? That you have some classes offline with some online tools, right? If I am here in the class, all of you are here, and I am, let's say, taking help of the laptop to teach you something or showing you some video to explain a point. Isn't that better? So I think most of us agree that the blended mode is the best, right? Because yes, you are right about, that college is more about, it is also about interacting with each other. See, we are all social beings. Humans are very social. So, जैसे अभी pandemic जब start हुआ, there were so many issues coming up with mental health because some people were caught in different areas, totally alone on their own. Because in India, the lockdown was announced within, I think, just with a, window of 4 or 5 hours. We just had the Prime Minister addressing us at night that from tomorrow we have the Janta curfew, and the very next day or the day next to it, I believe it was Tuesday, when there was this nationwide lockdown that all the states followed suit and हर एक जगह पे curfew लग गया था, ठीक है? So people did not get the time to come back to their places. If somebody was somewhere for some task, right? Some meeting, some conference, be it you are on a vacation or a trip. So काफी जगह पे people were stranded, and most of them were stranded on their own, right? The parents like the kids could not visit their old parents, right? Some children were even stranded in the hostels. Because I remember in Punjab University, some students, like the students from the northeast, they could not reach back in time. The flights were cancelled before they could go there, and उनके लिए वहां पे वापस जाने का एक ही तरीका होता है through flight, right? So इससे क्या हुआ था? That is when mental health issues came up. So like to conclude it all, I just want to say that yes, we are very social, we are social beings, and इसमें क्या हो रहा है कि अब आपके लिए interaction is not possible with each other. College में आप आते थे, yes, you were meeting your classmates every day, right? You were meeting your friends every day. However, due to the pandemic, that is not possible. तो सिर्फ क्या रह गया कि that you have to sit in front of the screen and attend the Zoom classes, right? So yes, that is a very difficult thing to do. However, we have to stay strong in this. Let's hope the situation gets better. Let's pray that the situation gets better and we get to meet each other in the classroom here, right? Till then, beta, yes, I would want, क्योंकि अब accountability आपकी है. The onus is on you. How well, how sincere you are in attending all your classes and how much you attend them, how, attentive you are in the classes. Though I don't, ever have any complaints from your class, right? The BTech class, I always give this example that they are very keen. They're always keen to learn. They're always responding well, right? So just keep that up. And doubts ke matter mein, I am available to you. Any doubts you have, let's try to make the most of it. जितना भी मैं आपको समझा सकती हूँ ऑनलाइन, जितना आपको समझ आ सकता है, let's try that, right? So I hope you enjoyed this class. This was a good session. Let's think of more topics we can discuss, because I feel this group discussion idea is really good. As we discussed that English lab की भी सारी activities possible नहीं है through Zoom, right? Had we been meeting in the classroom, there were more activities possible, right? So that was all. I'll just end the class now, right? You all are a very good class. You respond really well. Keep that up. All right.